This is going to be a challenge for doing a ceiling tile. So this is a little harder than just doing oil-based paint, but let's see if we can make this work. Alright, let's go ahead and bring this on down here. Okay, getting us some blue color in here. Try not to splash this paint too much around here. And because the ceiling tile kind of has some little spots in it, you almost get instant clouds, which is pretty cool here. Okay, we just want a nice bright sky here. A lot of this is going to get covered up, but this is going to be for a school. Now let's not forget, this is going on okay. I'm actually pleasantly surprised that it's actually giving us a little bit of cloud. How does that sky look up in there? Pretty good?
Beautiful.
Okay, so we can take just the tip of this brush and we just want a couple of things swirling around in here, just to show some movement in the sky. A little darker spots here and there. Let's go ahead and come up in here and just darken up this top edge a little bit. Okay, maybe just a little bit on this side. Okay. And this is just so that it darkens these corners up. With this acrylic, you got to really roll your boat so fast along. What are you laughing about? You got some potato chips in your ears?
Yes.
Okay, so if you get a little bit more of this, come on down here to this horizon a little bit. Now we were talking about doing some, like some trees and things up in here, which is a cool idea. I'm kind of liking the way that the clouds are looking right now, but I want to get some nice blue down in here. This is our water, just in case if we want a nice beautiful water coming up in here. Let's go ahead and lighten it up just a little bit more. And I'm kind of slinging paint everywhere. Thankfully this is not in the Nana's house, because she would be
furious.
Yes. The dinner would be made out of potato chips tonight. And so the nice cool thing about the ceiling tile, I thought I was really going to hate this, but it gives you texture in the sky. It also gives you just like a beautiful like ripples in your water. I can't believe I actually might like painting this, but I will enjoy painting this because this is something for a school. I think we're going to hang, it's going to be hung up in the school for 30, 40, 50 years from now.
Until they decide to change the tiles.
I don't think they should change the tiles ever. Okay, but anyways, there's some sky. I think what we need to do now is put my brush cleaner.
Where did it go?
Oh, sorry about that, whippersnapper. I got some. Okay, so anyways, with this acrylic, you gotta really just make sure you keep these brushes clean, because they will definitely. Okay, so, and what I'm going to do now is just kind of leave this brush down in there to get something else. Let's go up in here, just take some of this white paint. And just throw some clouds up in here. And you see I'm blending the edges back down a little bit. A lot of this you probably won't even see because I'm going to be putting lots of trees and stuff back up in here. So let's just leave that kind of like that a little bit. Maybe a couple little things here. Okay. So no mountain, is that what you're saying? Okay. So see, as you come up in here and do a little brighter white in front of these other clouds, because they're kind of mixing and staying together here, you can get some distance out of this, which is kind of what you want. Get these nice bright tips on here, and then blend them back down, just like you did the other cloud. And you can even just do a couple of little stringy clouds here and there. And then just scrub the bottoms. Okay, so I mean, this is a pretty big ceiling tile. So I think we can keep some of these clouds. That's not really a big deal, is it?
Nope.
Let's brighten these tips up here real good. So, you know, I want it to show up. Now, one thing about these ceiling tiles, they do absorb your water pretty quick. So, that is something I notice. They are really just absorbing your water pretty fast. But I'm still seeing some color up in there. That's a good thing. Let's go ahead and bring another little cloud here. Okay. Now, because we have some dark color here, let's go into a little bit of gray, and let's just get a little gray up in this cloud here. Because the reason I'm doing this is because you get this gray, and then when you come back in and you put some white, it works out so nice. Okay, so as you can see, this gray cloud just squeeze right up in here. Okay, blend the bottom of it out a little bit here. And if you're doing this at home, you could actually take a hairdryer and just dry this up as you're going, so your next colors will just lay right on top of those colors. Maybe there's just a touch under this one, and maybe a touch under this one here. And that's just because you have to have light and dark, okay? There's a little bit there. See, if you just do this bright up against this bright blue, well, you end up losing your clouds. So, don't forget that. You can come back up here. This is a multi-purpose brush here. Maybe I can fluff these clouds just a little bit. Just blend them a little bit here and there. Okay. Okay, that's good. And because I use those brushes for my oil paints, I don't want that acrylic paint to really dry up in there. So now we can go back in here and put a couple clouds under this gray one, and you can see it'll make it pop nice and good there. Okay, and then you'll just blend the bottom like we did before. Maybe just go ahead and do the tips of this gray one here. Give you something for the cloud to go against here. Okay, just let that go like that. Here we go, a little bit there. Got some good little clouds. Maybe there's just one sitting in here like this. Okay, like that. So, you know, whenever I was growing up, we used to go back in the woods just to go fishing all the time. And you don't get to do a whole lot of fishing anymore. I'd suggest you get out there and fish sometimes now, because life's passing you by. This year I'm going to be going out a lot more because it's just a lot of fun. Okay guys, now let me just keep that brush nice and clean. I'm going to start putting some tree colors and stuff down. Okay, let me get one of my old let me see if my assistant can get me some water in this. Okay, once I get me some water, then I can start going in here. Okay, I want to get a little bit of this brown. I'm going to put a little bit of this green, just a touch of green with this brown here. It's a reddish color. I want to dull it back down a little bit, okay? So, I want to get it to a brown consistency. Okay? Now, we're just going to go in here, and we're going to, you know, just start laying some trees and stuff up in here. Okay, so This part here is not a big deal. You're just throwing bushes and things back in here. Just tapping with this 1-inch brush. Okay, as you can see, this is just to give us some texture and things, and maybe there's a couple little trees way back here. Okay, and when you do these back here, you just make sure there's not as much paint left on your brush, and it'll leave these colors back in here. Oh, that was you. Okay, so we've got a cat problem in our house. The cat, every time the door gets open, the cat is like, I will come in. I'm like, no, you can't. But, okay. So anyways, we're going along. We're just tapping this color right in here. A little bit of browns, a little bit of different colors. And we're just going to keep coming forward until we have... we'll go ahead and start a little bit here. And you can even just scrub some of this in, because this ground is up here in front of this. Okay, get this color nice, just setting up in here like this. And what this will do is just give you something for your land to set up against. Okay, so now we can come back with some more of these colors, throw a couple more trees here and there. Okay, and this is just to give you that deep, there shouldn't be much detail back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and scrub in some more ground. Okay, go ahead and scrub this in. Tap a little bit here and there, just get you some more texture here and there, okay? And then scrub. And all this is going to do is just give you some colors back in here. Okay, eventually we're going to get darker and darker. Let me throw a little bit of this, maybe a little gray into this color. So that just made it get a little darker in this area. And it's interesting because even now you can still see a little light shining through the actual paint, which is pretty cool. This tree is just up here a little bit closer to us. Just sets out in front of this one. Comes down. Okay. And what I wanted the liner brush for is I'm getting ready to put some little twigs and branches and stuff back in here. I'm going to put some nice bright colors up in here because, you know, this, let's say that this sun comes through here and it kind of hits these trees over on the right hand side of the trees. So we got to determine where's that light coming from. I think our light's going to come out of here in with some of these dark clouds, and the light can still beam through there sometimes. Maybe there's a couple more bushes up in here. Okay, and then we'll start defining this here in a minute. Okay, so we got some ground back in here. Now let's go into my color here. Clean those two. Let's go into my water. We're going to just grab some of this gray color. And we're just going to throw a couple sticks and twigs up in here. maybe a couple of them stick up out of here like this. Okay, maybe there's a little bit of, I have to throw a little bit of black in here too. Okay, so let's darken that gray up a little bit. Okay, and let's just throw a couple of twigs up in here. Okay, and that's just setting inside of those trees. So, see, you'll see a couple branches here and there. Maybe a couple in here. Maybe there's a whole tree branch that just comes straight on down here. But you want to do these little details so that, you know, so that you don't lose any detail in these trees, because you'll see a little bit of this from a distance, just not too much. So keep it as little as you possibly can. Maybe there's a couple branches that just sit in here like this, and we're going to go back and put a couple highlights on these. Sticks just come up out of these trees here. Okay. Maybe there is still just a few. Trees and things sticking up out of here, and you can just sling them up out of there if you want. It's no problem. So now let me get back to just go into this with this little brush here. Okay, so let's say that we got a little bit of light hitting through here. Okay. Okay, so we get some color there. And don't forget, you know, through here, you may have some grass that just lays down in here. Just bring it on across. And this is a filbert brush. We can just tap it. It'll give you a little, I mean, on this size canvas, it'll give you a little grass sticking up, and just shows you a little highlight hitting here and there. So now we can come back in, and maybe there's a couple little highlights here and there. This one's not as bright because it's behind this other tree here. So you have a couple little spots here and there. Maybe there's part of a bush that just sets in here like this. So these are little bushes that just live out here. You can also push up like this and give you a little different type of bush there. Okay. You want to get some more of that yellow, and it's just, you know, that sun really struck through here real nice. Maybe it's coming straight on out here like this. Got a couple spots here and there. And truth, and the reason I'm doing this this video, so that, you know, if the school for some reason, you know, wanted to find out where this picture came from years from now, well, it'll be documented, you know, that it was done here at my house. I love watching Bob Ross all the time, so that is why I wear this Bob Ross wig. Not out of disrespect, out of lots of respect for him. I just enjoyed everything that he painted. So let me finish a couple little highlights here. You don't want too much back in here, but you know, let's just a little bit here and there. You want some of that dark left here. Okay. And I don't want to spend too much time here, of course. Let me just finish throwing a little bit of grass here and there, so that and normally I do a bigger brush through here like this. So we're going to throw maybe a little bit of red in with this yellow here. Be careful with the red because it is super powerful. Okay, so we'll throw some of that green. Got a little bit of red with this one here. But because you know, I put little sticks and stuff here, it separates your trees a little bit. And that's kind of what we want to make sure we do whenever we're painting these things. You just separate everything out, light and dark colors. I think this tree back here, we're just going to keep that one like that because it kind of sits back there by itself. The big brush.
Which one?
The one here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here. We're going to, I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to define, we're going to bring some green, get this stuff nice and a nice green yellowish color here, okay? And this brush is not normally the size I would use, but it will work, okay? So all that color back up in there, we're just going to keep that nice and good, okay? I'm going to just tap some grass in here, okay? So this grass just went right up through here. Maybe this came down a little bit right in here, okay? Okay. A little bit more in that grass color. Maybe there's a hill that comes down here like this, goes straight up in here. Okay, something like that. let's not forget, I got to get some nice dark color in here. Because this, this grass has to lay against something. It's getting closer to us, so we got to get us a little edge here that makes this grass come. It's closer to the water. We're putting this water in here, and that's what we want to make sure that we don't forget. Okay, so wonder if we go in here and we take this dark color and we just throw a little path here. Okay. Now this path goes way back in there. Now whenever see, you can kind of just smooth this out a little bit. And as you get closer to this water, this path's going to get a little bigger. Okay, so there you go. You got a path that starts back up in there. Let's go ahead and bring this path on around here. Okay. Okay, so now that we have a path, wipe our knife off, grab a little bit of this white. And we're just gonna slowly graze this canvas. Because the light will hit this path a little bit here and there. Okay. Okay, now, so there's our path. Now what we got to do is take this, go back into our nice bright green color. We still got video?
Yeah.
Okay. So this green, some of this grass would just come right on back over here. Okay. And I think this this grass would just tap it on across here. Okay, so since this is a little closer to us, and you see some of this will mix with this other grass. Kind of, I mean, don't worry about that, because it just gives this some character. Maybe there's a little bit of dirt and stuff that comes down there near that. I think I am going to put a nice bright bush here. And I'm just kind of pushing up here like this. Okay. Okay, so you got a nice little green bush there. It's another little bush that just sits there. So now what we want to do, okay, we come down here and we come down under this, and as you can see, we want to get some of this green color here.
Don't let that cat in here.
We want some of this color to just be pulled down here for reflections. Okay. And as we know with reflections, you just pull straight across. Make sure you're going straight across so that it looks like water shimmering. You have to disturb the paint a little bit so that it looks like it's actually shimmering in the water. So you got bushes there. Now let's take a little bit of this white and just pull down a couple different spots so it's nice and bright where the sun might hit it, okay? So do a little bit here and there, maybe right here, maybe right here. Okay, and then just go nice and delicately back across. This will give you the shimmer of this land again. Okay. Now what we want to do, actually, this is just the land coming out here like this. Different areas. So it just comes right on out there. Now, what we do, we go ahead and bring this one here is just bushes. It's set out here like this. Okay. So you just go up in here, these bushes. so we've got, get a little bit more black in this because it's starting to get kind of dark where we want it to be. And I need to get this nice and dark here. So, okay, so anyways, here we go. This tree just is setting out here in front of this. And we're not done with that water yet. We've got to. Okay, so these bushes set right in here like this. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now what we want to do is, this is actually a nice dark area here. Okay, just go across it. Okay, let's get my little liner brush.
I got you. Go step first.
Yes. Okay.
Why do you dip that one in paint? I mean in water.
Because it needs to be thin whenever I do this. Okay, so let's do a little water line here. Up here near the shoreline. Try to go straight across. Okay. Maybe we'll get a little bit more here. Is it recording still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, right in here. A little bit of water. Maybe I will go a little bit in here. Okay. Okay, so okay, got some water there. I'm going to come back in here with my fan brush. I don't use this fan brush a lot, so kind of This would be a good fan brush for me to work with here. Okay, so okay, so anyways, you just start tapping this. Try to do like the corner of your brush. Try to shape your tree down in here like this. So now we got some trees there. We're gonna. This is gonna be a couple little bushes. Okay, some bushes there. See, little squirrels and stuff run back into these little spaces here. Always leave those couple little dark spots, so because you know you have to have a little spot for your animals to be able to run and play and enjoy their days. This is Mother Nature. It is designed for these little creatures, so you got to make it where they can enjoy it. Maybe a little playhouse in here. They can run in there and enjoy playing with his friends. Okay, so there's some little bushes. I think what we want to do is just wipe this off nice and good. Let's do just the tree that comes straight on down here like this, right into this area here. Okay. Nice big tree. Maybe there's a little branch that comes down here like this. Maybe there's another part of a tree that just comes down here like that. And see. You know, Bob Ross always said you have to make sure you make those noises or it won't work right. And it kind of works like that, but you still can't make the noises like Bob Ross did. Maybe there's another little tree here because you got to give him a friend, right? let's just leave those like that for now. And now maybe there's another little piece of land that just sets up in here like this, right? It comes right out here like this. Okay? And then it just comes up in here. Couple little sticky uppers right there. Okay, and then maybe, just maybe, we come up in here. Just like that. Just come on down here like this. And there could be a little, you know, this is a spot that one of your evergreen trees could come up in here and decide to grow. Maybe a seed fell out of one of these other trees, these papa trees, and caused it to grow out here. I don't know. I mean, we gotta try to think of something. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen out in the wild, out in these waters. I tell you what, this is pretty challenging as far as painting on a ceiling tile. Okay, but I do like that it's giving me depth and control and all kinds of problems. Right? Yeah. Here, wash that out, please. Okay, now, so I want to come up in here with a quick color here. Let's take some of that white. So
This is part 2 now.
we want a little bit of the trunk showing here and there. Okay. So we got a trunk showing there. Maybe there's a little stick that comes up in here like this too. You know. And that would just be, you'd be able to see just a little bit of that stick. Different areas. I like that. Looks like a little piece of a stick just sticking out there. Okay, now let's wipe that off a little bit. Let's go ahead and get my nice bright yellow, just a touch of that green, because I want this tree to stand out pretty good because it is closest to us. We're just going to go in here. Now, I've gone back to acrylics with this painting, so it's a little harder to work with. It's not as stiff as the paint that I've been using. It makes the job a little harder, but you can still have fun painting. So there we go. Nice bright colors. Let me step back, see what it looks like real quick. Wow, it's amazing. It's going to look like an abstraction of what I'm used to painting. So, but it's pretty wild, really. I'm liking it. So let's go ahead and go up in here. So since I went ahead, I did do some my line right here. Let's just say that there is some grass that just grows up in here like this, different areas, and that will grow down here toward this shoreline. Okay, this is just little grassy areas. See how right at the edge maybe it's really working good there. Okay. And this kind of just helps separate and make sure it's not just defined or clear cut from the other land. So you see, you can just throw some extra grass here and there. Maybe a little bit of this grass comes from here over there. So you see that path, now it doesn't look like it's separate from the actual painting if you bring a little bit out into the path, you see. So there we go. That's what we want to do. Maybe there's a little bit right there. And maybe a little bit right there. That's on that edge. I think we're getting somewhere, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, what I want to do is just get my little liner brush again. I mean, these type of paintings, you just keep going from one to another. Since I have this fan brush here, let's just go ahead and throw our little bushy things right here. Okay. And if you want to make a bush like I'm doing here, you just put your green color together here and there, and it will make just this bush. Okay. Maybe right in here. Okay, and maybe a couple set up under this tree a little bit. Okay, so this here is gonna come straight on down here like this into this water, and it gets smaller. I mean, you're just basically doing it upside down here. Okay, a little bit of this comes down here. Okay, a little bit of this comes down here, because this all gets reflected into the water. So let's just take this fan brush, kind of pull straight down, come across, just to disturb it. Okay, and don't forget, straight across. Okay, now, and then you can also come back to this side just a little bit. You'll have a little bit of this color sets down in here, because you know it's reflecting into the water. Okay, a little bit there. Maybe your tree goes from here and just kind of turns down, straight down. Maybe this tree goes straight down. So now you see we got some reflections back in this water. Pretty cool. Okay. Now we'll grab some of this color. this white. White. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, and then you'll have just a couple little little water lines just floating over those. And then all I want to do now is take some of my black and we're gonna, you know, take a few of these. Maybe they come up here, come off. Maybe that tree goes on up here. I don't know. So, a couple little branches here and there. And the one thing about this is it is extremely hard to do here. So the ceiling towel, I had to definitely prime it with the gesso. I tried to get a smooth surface. You can't really fill up the holes of this ceiling towel because they just pulled right back out. It's a very porous material, so it soaks up whatever water you got going on. But for the most part, I haven't painted with acrylics for a long time, and I've had a good time, so I'm happy with it. And we're just going to go ahead and let that go now. Should I sign it?
If you want to, go for it. It's 4:30. You've been doing this for an hour and 11 minutes.
You can go ahead and stop it. Thank you guys for watching. God bless. Have a good day.